10mm socket and ratchet, we're going to go ahead and loosen and remove our battery terminals. Going to loosen our oil cap, remove this. Let's go ahead and pop off our engine cover here. Reinstall our oil fill cap and set the cover aside. On the back side of the engine, on the side of the ignition coil, there is a wire harness that comes down with a connector. You want to press down on the tab on the connector, wiggle that, and go ahead and pop that off. There's a map sensor right here. I'm going to go ahead and, with the assistance of a pick, press in on the tab and go ahead and work that connector off. There's a vacuum hose right here. Go ahead and wiggle that loose. And pop this harness off to the side like that. And pull that vacuum hose off to the side, like so. That's going to give us access to our ignition coil right here. So we're going to be replacing our ignition coil. You want to make sure that it's positioned the same way with the harness plugged in, so we have that set up just so it'll come off the vehicle. It's going to be 4 10mm bolts holding this here. We're going to be able to see 2 of them from the top here. The other 2 will just have to reach down around the back and remove those. I'm going to use a pick, and we're going to open up our wire retainer. Pop these wires out, and go ahead and grab our ignition coil. Bring that up and on top of the engine like so. What I'm going to do is identify the spark plug wires down here. We have this wire right here. We follow this up about to the top here, and I'm going to label this 3, because that is the last one in the row of 3. I'm going to go to the second wire and follow this one up, and that'll be this one here. I'm going to mark that as 2, and then the last wire down here, we're going to mark this as 1. That way there, when we disconnect them down at the spark plug, we'll know exactly where that wire is going to reattach. Let's go ahead and remove spark plug wires here. Try and grab that boot. Pop that one off. ahead and get our second one. And reach down into the front side here. Let's go ahead and pull our ignition wires up. I'm going to get these out of the way. Now coming around the back side here, we're going to use a 5/8 deep spark plug socket. Put that down inside. Go ahead and pull out the spark plug. Let's go ahead and feed our spark plug down. Get this lined up. And get that spark plug started by hand. Go ahead and put my extension on there. And then we'll pop our ratchet on. Now if you have the ability to do so, you want to go ahead and torque these down to 11 foot-pounds. You want to go ahead and repeat the spark plug process for the other 5 plugs. Let's go ahead and line up our spark plug wires here. Go ahead and press that onto your spark plug and you feel it click. I'll bring this one over here. Okay. Let's go ahead and lower our ignition coil back down into place and go ahead and start getting our bolts back in. Let's start with the top ones here. And once you got these 4 bolts in, we'll go ahead and snug those down. snug it down. Now these have a metal sleeve on the inside of the bolts, so you can't really over tighten them, but you just want them snug. We're just stabilizing that coil from bouncing around. Once that's all set, go ahead and run your wires into your retainer here. Go ahead and pop that on there. Let's get and work our vacuum line over here like so. Just press it onto the intake. Go ahead and feed our electrical connectors through underneath. Let's install our connector right here to our map sensor. Just line that up, push it on until you hear it click. We'll install our coil harness right here by lining it up with the side of the coil and simply press it on. You hear it audible click and you're locked into place. Just going to install our ground terminal here. Bring our positive terminal over. Go ahead and snug down our terminal here. I'm going to check these terminals, make sure they're nice and tight. I'm going to place our boot back on the top here. Pop off our oil fill here.